The history of Autumn Haunted House. Once upon a time, in a small village, there stood a grand house known as the Autumn House. It was named so because the trees around it would turn the most beautiful shades of red, orange, and yellow every autumn. But as beautiful as it was, the house had a dark secret. Many years ago, the Autumn House was owned by a kind old man named Mr. Withers. He lived there with his beloved cat, Whiskers. Mr. Withers loved the fall season, and always decorated his house with pumpkins and scarecrows. The village children loved to visit him for Halloween treats. One year, as Halloween night approached, a terrible storm hit the village. The winds howled, and the rain poured down like never before. That night, a mysterious fire broke out in the Autumn House. Despite the villagers' efforts, the house was badly damaged. Mr. Withers and Whiskers were never seen again. Some say they vanished into thin air. After the fire, the house remained empty. People in the village believed it was haunted by the spirits of Mr. Withers and Whiskers. Strange things started happening. Lights flickered on and off, eerie noises echoed through the empty halls, and sometimes, a ghostly cat could be seen prowling the grounds. As the years went by, the house grew more and more run down. Weeds and vines covered its walls, and the windows became dark and dusty. Children dared each other to get close, but no one was brave enough to go inside. One chilly autumn evening, a young girl named Emily decided to solve the mystery of the Autumn House. She loved ghost stories and wasn't easily scared. Armed with a flashlight and her loyal dog, Rusty, she sneaked out to the house. As Emily approached the creaky front door, Rusty barked nervously but stayed by her side. The door opened with a loud groan, and Emily stepped inside. The air was cold and musty, but Emily pressed on. She explored room after room until she reached the attic. There, she found an old chest covered in dust. Inside, she discovered letters and photos that told the story of Mr. Withers and Whiskers. She realized they had no family left and had always wanted the house to be full of joy and laughter. Suddenly, a soft light filled the attic, and Emily saw a gentle figure of an old man with a cat beside him. It was Mr. Withers and Whiskers. They smiled at Emily, grateful that someone had finally understood their story. They didn't want to scare people, they just wanted to be remembered. Emily promised to share their story with the village. From that day on, she visited the Autumn House often, keeping it clean and decorated, just as Mr. Withers had done. The house became a happy place again, especially in the fall when the leaves turned bright colors. And so, the Autumn Haunted House was no longer a place of fear, but a place where the memory of Mr. Withers and Whiskers lived on, bringing joy to all who visited. The end.